Hello everybody, my name is Bear Pope and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Now, this menu that we're staring at here is sort of the Windows-esque menu that you get when you launch Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, after your initial launch. So, we were playing obviously the main game, and I am curious though, if we've unlocked any of the side stories. We have. So we have to try writing poems for different characters and viewing this special scenes in the main game. Okay, so why don't we take a look at these and then figure out where we can go, where we can continue with in the main game. Begin this side story, yes. Okay, everyone. Literature Club is starting. So all have a seat and take attendance, okay? I'm Mr. Debate Club. Who knew it would be so difficult to start a new club? I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Monica's the only member of the Literature Club. Ah, okay. So this is when the club started then. The days that have passed, all efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless. Am I going about this wrong? Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody is into literature enough to pick it over their other club interests. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. A vision? But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head on her desk, deep in thought. But before she realizes it, recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet, the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Hello? Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Let me lower the music a bit. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I never do this. Is this the napping club? No, this is... Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the Literature Club. This is the Literature Club. Yay! I thought I got it wrong for a second. I'm super sorry. It was so unprofessional of me to do that. Don't apologize. I do it all the time. Oh, did I miss the club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that. This is everybody. Really? Just you? But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Hold on a second. If it's just you, that means I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you are. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening not be taken seriously, you know? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members? Well, no. I want to join now. Really? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Aha. Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? It's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way. Monica. That's such a cool name. Well, now you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling. Oh, I didn't say it didn't work. Monica glanced at the flyer on her desk and realized that her name is already written on it. So what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late. We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. And I think I need to put some more thought in my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. My mission is to make everyone happy. Ah, yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so. Sayori suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug, and then let's go. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Sayori whispers loudly, hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Hug energy? Monica laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe just because she finally found another club member. But, well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. Interesting. So that's how they met. A day passes and the time comes for the literature club, Monica and Sayori, to reconvene. As president, Monica ensures that she's the first to arrive to the club room. But she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. It's been 10 minutes. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining. No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday. But I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry I'm late. I'm here. It's okay, welcome back. And Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet on Monica's desk. Oh, what's this? Oh, she wrote a poem. Take my hand, take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up. The more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to bend to your smile. Lend you a smile, not bend. That makes a little more sense. I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Okay. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this? Of course. Wait, no, that's the wrong side. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed. Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side of it is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members. Oh, so this is what you meant to show me. I'm curious now. Do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm nowhere near as good at it as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again after a week. I read it and I'm like, whoa, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be, or something like that. Aw. You should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president. I guess you're not wrong there. I need to, like, set a good example or whatever. You know, I can envision the clubs doing something like that. Doing what? You know, like sharing poems when we write, stuff like that. Oh, yay! I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like, so we have so many emotions we can't express to other people, usually. But you can when it's in a poem, right? Yeah, I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. I'm so glad you showed me, well, even though it was by accident. Me too. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I'd love that. Oh geez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? My brain stormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster. Sorry, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at the list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry. That's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, why would we have a chance to give you cupcakes? You know, like when they come into the club. What if we said we had free cupcakes? I'm like kind of worried that we bring the wrong kinds of people, you know? Wrong kinds. People would come just for the cupcakes and then leave. Aw, nobody would do that. That would be mean. You know, but I want to find people... Oh, but, you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see, next thing. Hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like going around the school and finding people who are reading books, you know? Like in the morning or during lunch. And we told them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is, like, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How would we know if they're just reading for fun? We could ask them. But then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall. I definitely start doing that. I'm useful. I never said that you weren't. Just need to think. What would we tell people when we're handing them out? I don't want to just be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people. What if you told them about club activities and stuff? What club activities? I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? Vision for the club. Okay, Siri, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club? Probably like, literature is stupid. I'm joining the anime club. What the heck? Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine. Okay, what if I said that we, do group readings and discuss it together? I'd probably not do that. That's you, Sayori. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest. This sucks. Why is this so hard? Monica, don't be sad. What do you like about literature, Sayori? Me? Oh, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you a chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do. When you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like, intimate. Yeah. How do we get that across to people? It can be like, express your true self. Be intimate with us. Okay, that's kind of... I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. What is it? I forgot all my things in my classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here. Silly me. Rushed, but worried. Never mind. Do you want to go get your stuff then? I'll forget if I don't do it now. Okay, I'll wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take a second. Sayori dashes out of the room, leaving Monica momentarily alone. Monica sighs and starts jotting her thoughts down on a sheet of paper. Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. That's lame. Monica. You startled me. Sorry, but it's something important. In the way my classroom, there's a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry and recruit her. Wait, are you sure she's not just doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monica grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. The two depart the classroom with Sayori leading the way. This way. You don't have to run. Sayori leads Monica over to a particular classroom and lowers her voice to a whisper. See? In here. Monica peers through the window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone, intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I would probably scare her away. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Monica takes a deep breath and timidly enters the classroom. That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up at my book, so I just kind of left the flyer on her desk and then walked out. That's kind of cute. But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the literature club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back to the club room, Sayori feeling rather accomplished and Monica still feeling a bit embarrassed by the encounter. Upon returning, Monica and Sayori resume their strategy meeting. They discuss various different kinds of recruitment tactics, from professional to silly. To reduce Sayori's list, and with Monica coming up with ideas of her own, the two end up in a better spot than where they began. Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this? Sayori appears at the sheet of paper Monica was jotting on earlier. Oh, don't mind that. I'm just thinking to myself. Join the literature club. Right the way into your heart. That's so cute. I thought it was a little overdramatic, but Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment. You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What? What do you mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. Seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Yeah, but would you call yourself a perfectionist? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go, And it's like, I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at it. So I'm just really afraid of it deviating from that. The vision. What's the vision? Monica pauses to think, shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Monica trails off. Smiling, Sayori taps her finger against the sheet of paper. Right the way into your heart. I think what you're trying to do is to make the club that you need the most out of everyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course. But I'm here to help you. Monica returns Sayori's smile. It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're really going to make this the best club ever. Sayori nods and two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner. The only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks down the moment with a big yawn. Time to go home? You tell me, you're the president. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward till tomorrow. Me too. Sayori beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead, I need a few minutes still. Oh, I can wait. That's alright, I just want some alone time. In that case, Sayori waves enthusiastically. Good luck. Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the clubroom. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need the most. I don't get it. I just wanted to start a club with more passion. Something I could use to help people to happiness. Literature is the key to that. Because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath the person who's forced to always smile and blend in. Person who's forced to be perfect. Monica suddenly notices a flyer on the floor by her desk. Did Sayori leave this behind? Hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Become the flower. Feeling a joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color of the scent is so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grow just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Oops. Scroll too far down. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, 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 so pretty in my hair. Pluck, 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 you're going to die, and you too. That's ominous. Beneath my feet a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction. The field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. And this is why I've decided I must become the flower. What the... Wait, Sayori? And that is the end of that one. Interesting. So let's look at the other one. Another day passes in a flash and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through these kinds of feelings and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time I didn't think to ask her about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile. Upon seeing downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades in an expression of concern. Monica, is everything okay? I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about me. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sayori responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. A long moment pauses in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday, it was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy. So, if you do this, you're just being selfish. Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things. But, as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for her to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Yeah. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the literature club. This is a place where people can express themselves in ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart, or whatever. So, I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayori smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayori's smile. I promise. Me too. So as the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. That behind them is time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I think I'll just need some time, motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You just kind of need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start by writing your feelings and see what kind of things it makes you think of. Then you turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down fast and make it sound pretty later on. It's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put in it, and you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. Monica pulls out a pen and paper to start writing. Stop being a perfectionist. You idiot. I'm just kidding. Monica scribbles out, you idiot, after she writes it down. No, keep it. What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. But I was just, well, yeah. Underneath the scribble, Monica rewrites, you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I write down what I'm mad at myself for, then I did the exact same thing anyway. It's really going to take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks, I do too. Sayori is just a goddamn ray of sunshine. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all her random thoughts. Whew. Monica looks up and down at her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. It's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I have to try really hard at it. But I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayori beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. I'll try to work on a new flyer for the club. I don't want to be so picky about the language. Yay, let's do it! Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. Each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club, not simply from their recruitment planning, but for their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Another day passes. As usual, Monica's the first one to the clubroom, where there is a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave that one reading girl the other day. It's so much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center. Right the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one's right from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting where she performed a writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be present if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight on Monica's shoulders only becomes heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself. For real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs a pen. Presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monica lifts her pen up and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. And so she does. The black ink smears across the page, ruining Monica's canvas. Ugh. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down once again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes. This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears Sayori approach her desk and stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyers look so good. You've been working so hard. On the club, but also on something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayori takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down and stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. You can trust me with anything. Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Ah. Sometimes I want to die. Oh, so she knows... So Monica knows then very early on about Sayori's depression. This is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. So if I could do it, then you can too. Because... you're like 1,000,000 times better than me. That's completely not true. Sayori takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday. I want to. It feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you. More than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayori must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. She prepares herself to continue. Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem. I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you could just be happy instead? So I never tell anybody about these kinds of thoughts that I have. So much easier to just smile and help everybody else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. Just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like whenever I'm not smiling, everybody would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because I used to be like that. Siri pauses me to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I keep feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it only means this much to me. Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart, feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave. I don't even compare. Monica steps forward, but if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. No, this is new. Wordlessly, without a smile, Sayori rests her head on Monica's shoulder. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that of all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything, I'll never judge you, I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. Takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything, it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now. So she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. This is being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort. But she knows Sayori said herself that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong. Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them like any good friend would do. You have so much value, to me and to your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. Your coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never get any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. Then there's your favorite thing and that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. Two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure things are just the way they usually are. If that's what makes you happy, thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course it'll always be your choice, but if you're looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps me knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. That made me tired. and hungry. Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely the one thing that makes me happy. Monica smiles, but I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, a sound on the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. And of course, we aren't going to get to see that face. Well, that was a little longer than I expected, so I'm going to leave this episode of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus here. And next time, we will explore a little bit more of the main story and see if we can unlock any of the new side stories for our characters. Until then, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time.